Managing and creating equations is easier in SOLIDWORKS 2012 with a completely revised equation manager. Before we take a look at these errors, let's look at the new view modes that are available. Equation View lists all the current equations in the current design sorted by type. Dimension View lists every dimension in our design as well as how it's being solved. This makes picking out those dimension values affected by an equation easy. Finally, Ordered View lists all the equations in our design and what order they're currently being solved in. Getting the equation order right can sometimes be a challenge in integrating equations into a design. SOLIDWORKS 2012 takes all the guesswork out with an innovative new tool that automatically calculates the correct solve order. Turning this option on eliminates any errors in our design as SOLIDWORKS reverses the order of these two items. Creating equations is easy as well. Let's start with a simple global variable called overall length. To assign a value to a global variable, simply type in the name of a dimension and the global variable has been created. To build more complex equations, you can still grab dimensions out of the graphics area and associate them to others. But 2012 introduces new capabilities for linking to things such as global variables, functions, file properties, and even a measure capability. Let's tie this to that global variable we just created called overall length, and we want to subtract a value. Currently there is no dimension associated with the value we are looking for, so we can use the new measure capability to add a reference dimension automatically on the fly. By creating a reference dimension, we maintain associativity and parametric control over the model. At any time we can click Rebuild to see how our equations affect our model, but turning on Automatically Rebuild will make it much easier to see our design changes in real time, in this case changing the overall length to be associated with this width. As we go ahead and update that value, we can see the model updates accordingly. One of the best parts about how equations have changed is how easily they're modified directly from the graphics view. Double-clicking on any dimension brings up the Modify dialog box where we now have access to change the name of any dimension on the fly. This saves a lot of time in getting all of your variables named appropriately. But that's not it. We can also add our equations right on the fly as well. By typing in the equal sign, SOLIDWORKS starts building the equation and even colors our equation to let us know if the syntax is correct. In this case, we want to build an equation that solves the overall length and determines the hole spacing of these holes on the top of our part here. Making sure that we have our equation right can be verified by clicking the checkbox, and we get what our value should equate to. Clicking Rebuild will affirm that we've got the equation correct. As you can see, creating and managing equations in SOLIDWORKS 2012 is not only easier but more efficient than before.